Hello everybody, my name is Nick and you're watching Photolit unboxing video of the Canon's EOS 80D. Now this is the 80D that comes with the kit lens. It's EFS lens 18 to 135mm IS USM lens. This is nano USM lens. Now, first thing that we see when we open the box is obviously the instruction manual, the EOS the solution disc, warranty. Then here we have the neck strap. It says Canon EOS 80D. We have a power cable. Now this power cable is for our charger. And now here we have the lens. Now this is quite a bit heavier than your regular lens. Here you have the AF and manual focus. You have a stabilization on and off, and you have a lock button. Now you can lock it only at 18mm. It extends to 135mm. Here is the connection, so that with the adapter you could have remote control of focus and zoom on this lens, which is something that they added for 80D. And obviously a battery. You have this nice thing on this battery cover that you can set it if it's full, like this, so that you have this blue thing here, or you can set it the other way so that it's black and it means that this battery pack was used. This is Canon's LPE6N battery pack. And now the camera itself. Now this camera has a CMOS sensor, 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor. The ISO goes to 16,000 for photos and 12,800 for videos. It has 45 AF points. It has 7 frames per second burst, and it has approximately 100% viewfinder coverage. It has a dual pixel AF autofocus, and it has Wi-Fi and NFC. Now, as you can see, this camera has a flip screen, which is great for video shooting, and this is a video camera. Yes, it is a DSLR, but it is a DSLR made for video. Now here goes the battery. And here goes the SD card. Now on this DSLR we have one wheel here. This dial is for the aperture, this one is for exposure, obviously. You got this one to set your shooting mode. You have a bulb, manual, AV, TV, and program mode. You have auto without a flash. You have creative auto and few others, including obviously C1 and C2. Here you have the AF button, and you can set what type of shooting mode you want to use. One shot, AI focus, and AI zero, depending on whether you want camera to trace your target. You have a drive mode, you have a single shot, you have a burst at high and burst at just regular burst. Then there's S and obviously remote control and things like that. You have ISO that, as I said, goes upwards of 16,000. Then with this button you can change which metering mode you want to use. Here you change your AF points by pressing this button. You have four actual types of AF depending on which one you want to use. This button is so that it lights up your LCD screen. Now, as you can see, you have this info button here, and when you press it, you turn on the LCD touchscreen. And obviously, just with the most Canon's DSLRs, if you want to use the touchscreen when in this mode, you just press this Q button here. Then we can change our ISO, aperture, or anything else. As you can see, you have these four AF points selections. You have a manual selection. You can set one of the AF points, or you can set it in a zones like this. You have large zones, whether you want center, left, or right. And then you have auto selection of 45 AF points, which works actually. I was surprised how well it worked. In movie mode, or to change it into movie mode, you just move this bit here, and to start and stop recording you press this button here. Now in movie mode, you can change what type of autofocus you want to use. You can change your shooting standard. You can set it to 1920 by 1080 at 50 frames per second, which is something that you don't actually have on quite a lot of even professional DSLRs like 60D. You can set it to 50 frames per second only at HD, unlike this camera. You have obviously full HD at 25 frames per second. Then you have HD obviously, and at 50 and 25 frames per second. You have your volume, so that you can change your volume from the quick menu, which is again something that I personally really like. Then you have a digital zoom. You can have without zoom and with 3 to 10 times magnification. Obviously, you can change white balance, you can change picture style, you can change auto light optimizer, you can change, you can add creative filters, or you can do video snapshots. Now, also on this camera you have the USB and HDMI connection, which I like that Canon decided to separate them and place them here. Now, here you have the microphone and the headphone socket. Again, it's nice that they decide to add microphone on top and in a separate door, because this way you won't have to open this and then have to move this LCD screen. As you can see, the LCD screen goes just like this, so that it doesn't make a problem when you have a microphone attached or your headphones. Now you also have the remote control here. This camera has a Wi-Fi and NFC as well. You're watching Photolith. If you want to find out more about this and some similar products, there will be a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Until the next time, goodbye.